From pirate shipwrecks to forgotten airplanes, these are 10 abandoned ships and planes across Europe. Number 10. Nicosia Airport Airplanes, Cyprus. Located in Cyprus, Nicosia International Airport has been abandoned since the 70s. The site was used as the principal airport for Cyprus starting in the 1930s. It was commissioned by the Royal Air Force and it was heavily used in the Second World War. On July 20th, 1974, Nicosia was bombed heavily due to the Turkish invasion of Cyprus. Whatever was left from the airport was abandoned forever. So why wasn't it completely destroyed? Why is there remnants of planes at the site? Those are good questions to ask. The United Nations designated the airport as a buffer zone between the opposing forces, and all soldiers were ordered to move away from it. Nowadays, there are just a tiny few UN helicopters that still utilize parts of the airport. As for the abandoned planes, it's not looking good. Number 9. The Corpach wreck, Scotland. This beauty has definitely become part of the scenery at Lake Linnhe, or Loch Linnhe if you're being dogmatic. The ship began its journey in 1975 under the name MV Dayspring. It was built as a fishing vessel and it got the job done for decades. In 2001, under new ownership, the ship was now renamed to the Golden Harvest. Not long after, the fishing vessel was all but abandoned at a pier. When the chain holding the ship failed during a heavy storm, the ship found its way to the shores of Loch Linnhe. Since 2011, the Golden Harvest has been slowly deteriorating. I assume the relatively calm lake is the only reason why this ship is still intact. It's not grandiose, it's not tragic, it's not mysterious, but it is a beautiful little abandoned ship. Number 8. Iliakos Airport, Greece. Located in Athens, the Iliakos Airport was the main international airport for 60 years. Things went south for the place in 2001 when it was replaced by Eleftherios Venizelos, the new Athens International Airport. At its peak, Iliakos served around 13 million passengers yearly. In 2004, a lot of the area was repurposed for the 2004 Summer Olympics. Google Earth provides a glimpse into what remains of all those renovations. Pretty much nothing is operating. On the other end of the airport, we stumble across parked airplanes that are doing nothing but collecting dust. The planes belonged to Olympic Airways. However, the airline ceased operations in 2009. There is no clear answer as to what will happen to this tiny fleet, but the outlook is not great. There have been talks about turning the whole complex into a massive park, but without a big influx of money, nothing will change. Number 7. Garthar BA64, Iceland. Garthar BA64. Did I say that right? I think I did. Anyway, the BA64 is considered the oldest steel ship in Iceland, and spoiler alert, it's not in operation. It was designed to be a whaling ship, and it set sail the same year the Titanic sank. In its long career, the Globe 4, as it was originally known, changed many owners and names. When the whaling business was riddled with regulations, the powerful ship was repurposed to fish herring. By the time the 80s rolled around, Garthar was no longer deemed safe to use. Instead of leaving the ship at a pier indefinitely, the owners decided to drag the ship aground. There's no active preservation groups that care for it, so the ship is slowly falling apart. Number 6. MIL Mi-4, Bulgaria. Are helicopters airplanes? No, they're not, but it's the only thing I could identify from the Krumlov Aviation Museum graveyard. Side note, here's my favorite expression about helicopters. Helicopters don't fly, they simply beat the air into submission. Side note, the two words that make up the word helicopter are helico and pter. This particular MIL Mi-4 has definitely seen better days. These choppers were built by the Soviet Union and saw extensive use in military and civilian life. A quick look on the inside gives you an idea of how big these guys were. I can't find much information about the abandoned airplanes at the location, but hey, at least there's pictures. Anyone venture to guess what this model is? Or this one? Comment below. Number 5. MV Panagiotis, Greece. Chances are, there's no way you haven't seen this ship before. Located on the popular tourist island of Zakynthos, the ship is now known as the Navagio Wreck, named after the beach on which it lays. The story of the shipwreck is probably embellished for dramatic effect. The Panagiotis was in the business of smuggling cigarettes. After a brief chase with authorities, it ran aground. It may look like it's hundreds of years old, but the incident occurred in 1980. Wait, 1980 is like 40 years ago. Man, we're getting old. Navagio Beach has become a great place to visit. Just watch out for the base jumpers. Number 4. Douglas C-47B, Croatia. This particular C-47 is found at the Želeva Air Base, which was the largest airbase in former Yugoslavia. Nowadays, we say it's located between Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's also another abandoned C-47 from former Yugoslavia that is stored at a municipal airport in Croatia. The truth is, more and more of these Dakota/Sky Fortress planes will find their way on abandoned lists. The Želeva Air Force Base in former Yugoslavia was the largest one in the country, and one of the largest in Europe. The more interesting part of the base was the underground bunkers, capable of surviving a 20-kiloton nuclear blast and being self-sustainable for up to 30 days. The airbase was destroyed by the Yugoslavian government. Nowadays, it is sometimes used for police training, but its primary purpose is an awesome urban exploration spot. Number 3. Olympias Shipwreck, Greece. It seems like 1980 was a really bad year to be a Greek smuggler operating by water, aka a pirate. Locals say that a mischievous captain looking to escape the bad weather in the area sheltered near the Kalotaritisa beach. Strong waves pushed the ship to the shore and sealed its fate forever. Since then, the ship has been battered by the sea. It eventually broke in half, but damn does it still look cool. Ironically, the ship was originally named Inland. Why someone would name a ship inland is a mystery for another day. Number 2. The DC, Iceland. This is the US Navy Douglas Super DC-3 wreck site. On November 24, 1973, the plane crash landed here, but due to the remoteness of the location, the plane was never recovered. Since then, it has become one of the most popular tourist spots in Iceland. But eventually, all good things must come to an end. The local farmers that own the land have completely shut down access to the wreck since tourists did not care about the local environment. I'm sure there is a possibility of private access if you're nice enough. Before we jump into number 1, let's look at some honorable mentions. I found this shipwreck off the coast of Norway. There was no information on it that I could dig up, but it looks pretty brutal. As it turns out, Portugal has a lot of abandoned ships left to the elements at different ports across the country shores. There is also this much larger ship slowly sinking off of the coast of Mersin, Turkey. Finally, I found this decommissioned passenger ship hidden somewhere off the coast of Italy. It definitely looks like this ship has seen better days. Don't forget to let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Number 1. Mediterranean Sky, Greece. I really didn't plan to include so many ships located in Greece, but it's not my fault that it's so hard to navigate these waters. The Mediterranean Sky, originally named the City of York, was built in 1952. While it did have a long career, things took a dark turn in 1997. The company that purchased the ship was having some financial troubles, and eventually the ship was seized at port. By 2003, the ship was in pretty bad shape. It began to list, so they moved it closer to shore. The end result is what we see in these pictures. It's not clear if the cruise ship will be left here indefinitely, but I haven't found any information indicating otherwise. Check out the featured comment below, subscribe for more World Unearthed, and I'll see you in the next video.